To begin, I know that everyone is aware of this. Our population in the United States is aging. By 2040, we're going to have 80 million or more older people. That's a lot of older people. The same growth we're seeing in the 85 plus population, and the reason that matters, why would we focus on 85 plus? It's because that's the age at which we begin to start to need services. That's the age at which disability, the likelihood of some kind of disability or need for assistance really begins to increase. Our world is changing in every way. We're aging, we're becoming more diverse, and that's good news. That sometimes when we talk about aging, the aging of our society, the aging of our state, the aging of our communities, people say, oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? That's a very good question, but it's not a doom and gloom scenario. It is an opportunity. It is a time to rethink everything about how we structure our lives and what we expect of ourselves and expect of our older adults. So in about, a handful of years before 2020, the world will reach the milestone where the number of older adults, 65 plus, exceeds the number of children. That has never happened before. Most of the new older adults that are going to cause our group to cross over the size of the younger population, most of them live in developing nations. So the vast majority of older adults, about 2/3 to 3/4 of older adults by 2040 will be living in the developing nations of the world. I think global aging is a phenomenally interesting and important topic, and looking at what the challenges and opportunities are in different regions of the world, in developing and less developed nations, is, again, a tremendous opportunity and a tremendous challenge. How long will it take the proportion of older adults in a society to double? Well, France has completed that transition. They completed it first, and they took 115 years to make that transition. The US on this slide was predicted to have made that transition by 2013. We're actually not quite there yet. So it's going to take us probably 70 to 75 years to make that transition. If you look at Japan, they made that transition in 26 years. So if you think, well, the numbers themselves that's compelling. In 26 years, transforming from a young society to an old society, that's a lot of older adults, but think about everything that is affected by becoming an older society. Everything changes. Work changes, healthcare changes, family relationships and expectations change and evolve. Education has to change. Everything changes because of the aging of a society. Resource allocations, everything changes. So to go through that transformation in 26 years is phenomenally challenging. We now talk about successful aging, not just gloom and doom and decline and all the awful things that happen, but successful aging and how we can help people age successfully, how we can help them remain engaged in their communities. And we are counting on older people defined with someone else's definition, 60 plus. Our societies are counting on us for civic engagement, for helping get the work done of running our communities. Civic engagement is a big movement, a big topic for discussion in gerontology these days, the involvement of older adults in volunteering and in the political life of their communities. We have moved beyond the 3 boxes of life, the idea that life is sort of organized into 3 categories. You go to school, you work, and then you retire. Because we're living so much longer and because we have much broader ideas about what's possible, there are people arguing for just breaking those boxes open and continuing to have access to education and take advantage of education long into our 70s and 80s, to maybe think about a break from a career prior to retirement. So. And to continue working well into our 70s and 80s if that's what we choose. So it's a very exciting time. I love this quote. So I've given you all these compelling numbers about population aging, and I've said over and over again, why does that matter? It's up to us how it matters, and I really like this quote. So each of us creates our world through our individual thoughts, plans, and actions. Our essential task in life then is to learn how best to think, plan, and act in creating our lives and our world so that we have the world that we want to grow old in. Thank you.